Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Williamson and I teach ICT, Computing and Digital Media at Workington Academy. I also teach Digital Media and ICT at the West Coast Sixth Form on the Workington Academy site. For those of you at different schools, especially Whitehaven Academy, you may see me hanging around taking photographs and videos for different events, so that's where you might recognise my face from already. I'm going to quickly take you through this little presentation. It will involve some discussion points and an activity to get involved in. If after this presentation you have any questions at all, please make sure to email office@westcoastsixthform.org and they can pass on any queries and questions you have straight to me. So let's get on. So hello, like I said, Mr. Williamson's my name. I've been teaching, this is my 14th year now, teaching digital media, IT and computing. So I've seen a lot of changes over the years, the advent of social media. Obviously social media now plays a massive part in digital media world and advertising, as you'll discover as we go through the content of the courses. So we're studying the level 3 OCR Cambridge Technicals in digital media. So it's an equivalent to an A level, a single A level, and we study 5 units. There's 2 exams and 3 coursework units. The coursework units are assessed internally and then moderated by a moderator externally. The course is graded pass, merit or distinction. The entry criteria for digital media, we ask that everybody who applies is looking at a grade 5 or above in a similar level 2 qualification, whether that be IT or other media related course. So the units, we said there was 5 units. So the first one, which is an examined unit, is media products and audiences. So what you do with this is you'll study lots of different theories to do with media. You'll look at film and television, you'll look at graphic design, advertising. We'll dig right down into the structures of companies. So take a company such as Disney, or a conglomerate such as Disney, who own lots and lots of subsidiaries or little companies in the media world. Disney have their foot in film and TV, animation, TV advertisement. They have it in radio, theme park attractions, games development, music. So every genre of digital media, they are kind of embedded in there. So that looks that, and it also includes target audience as well. So what kind of camera angle would work best for a certain genre of film to hit a certain target audience. So it's really good if you're a film lover or media lover. You love to dig right down into why a designer or a director or a producer has done a certain thing with their product. Unit 2, pre-production and planning, again is an external exam. This one teaches you all the ropes and all the pre-production documents that you need for planning a media product. So from storyboarding, which we're going to look at more detail today, we've got script writing, we've also got set design, risk assessments, looking at sourcing and collecting audio and video files and images legally. So yeah, it's all about planning a project. So even if in the future you're not thinking of staying in digital media or going into film and television, the pre-production and planning unit is really good for project management. We've had a few of our students who have went off to do project management after qualifying from digital media. Unit 3 is the start of the coursework units. So this is create a media product. So in this unit you get to basically as a group decide either individually or working as a team, what product do you want to work on to meet a client brief. We've had people in the past doing film trailers, we've had people making websites, making magazines, we've got people this year who are making an interactive documentary for Netflix. So it's a really creative unit. You get to show us all your skills and all your interests in this unit. Unit 16, we've got sound for media products. For those of you from Workington Academy, you will know that we have Workington Academy Radio. So if you want to learn the ropes on how to maybe produce radio or broadcast on the radio station, and then this is the unit for you. We have also in the past had students who have made radio adverts, radio dramas. People are currently making soundscapes for theme parks and theme park attractions. So it's really wide open. You bring your interests and you can develop anything you would like to involve in this project. So it's a really good unit. And Unit 20, advertising media. Similar to the other units, really, we work with a client brief for a real client. What we do is you then create the advertising materials for that. It could be billboard graphics, it could be social media posts, TV adverts, radio adverts again. So you put it into action, all of the skills you've learned in Unit 1, Unit 2, into the coursework units. Like I said before, if you have any questions or you want to know more, you can visit the West Coast Sixth Form website, or you can email office@westcoastsixthform.org, and we can answer any questions you have on any of the units there on the screen. So getting on to some actual work then. We mentioned before client brief. Now a client brief is basically just an outline of what a company or the client wants you to do for them. So if I was to build a website, I would get the client brief and I would speak to the client and we would work out exactly what their needs and requirements were. So for this one, we've got Williamson Media, and they want a TV advertisement created for their new product that demonstrates what it looks like, how it works, its price, and where you can purchase it from. Now in this client brief, I'm going to let you choose the product because you may all have different products available at the time or have different interests. So have a little think in a second what product you could advertise, or any ideas that you'd like to advertise. So the first task, before we go back to the client brief, I'm going to watch this little TV advert from a few years ago for Vimto for some initial ideas. So think about camera angles. Okay, what point is the camera pointing at? Is it a certain person, a certain actor, a certain place, a certain product? On-screen graphics, do we have them all the way through? Are they at the end? Do they fade in slowly? Do they zoom in? Do they spin in? Sound is obviously important. Without sound, people wouldn't be attracted to any advertisement, and movement on the screen. So have a little think of that when you have watched this video, and I'll see you at the other side.
Oh yeah.
Hello, pretty ladies.
Oh yeah.
Vimto, seriously mixed up fruit.
Great stuff. Now you've watched that video of the advertisement for Vimto, I want you to have a little discussion as a group with the member of staff in the room, and I will pause the video here and I will see you on the other side. So now you've had a little discussion about that video. Hopefully you've discussed camera movement, camera angles. You've also discussed the action on the screen, any sound, and any vocals, dialogue from the characters in the film. On the screen now we've got an example of the initial first draft of the storyboard. Now the graphic designer who created the storyboards don't end up working on the final product. In fact, in this example, the graphic designer who worked on the storyboard for this brief only found out that the advert was actually created by watching their video live on television in an advert between one of the soaps. So this is the initial storyboard. Now with the initial storyboard, as you can see, there's no colour. It's very simple sketch. I wish I could draw as detailed as this. Obviously a lot of storyboard artists these days are actual graphic designers and artists, and are really good at drawing. If you're not, don't worry, digital media could still be for you. I'm not very good, and I would like stickmen are just as good as long as the detail is there. There's also, on this storyboard, you can get the angles, you can see where things are moving. We've got a little bit of movement on the initial storyboard with some arrows here pointing the directions of the vehicles and the camera. It's not until you get to the final storyboard which we see the actual detail. So these slides are from the real storyboard. You've got colour, so you can see what it's going to look like when the graphic designers and the animation team start working. You've also got yellow arrows to show movement of camera, and then purple arrows show movement on the screen. The only thing missing on these storyboards are any mention of dialogue, any mention of sound, and any mention of on-screen graphics. So in any storyboards that we like to develop, we have some space underneath each section of the storyboard to describe what's happening. So if there's any background noise, if there's any vocals, dialogue, if there's any music, or if there are any graphics on the screen. The Vimto advert really only had the graphic at the end, which was the Vimto logo. And obviously on your client brief, we've asked you to include where and the price, and everything else to do with the description of that. So here's a close-up of one of the scenes at the beginning. So as you can see, you've got the yellow arrow pointing down, which shows that the camera is moving down. Could be classed as a dolly shot or a crane shot as it cranes down. Once it does come down, you can then see the car is moving forward with the purple arrow there, and then you've got the camera sweeping around to this view. The car is then in this close-up shot. You can see over the shoulder there, you've got the car coming up closer to the scene of the first car. So what we want you to do, we want you to create a really quick, really simple storyboard for your TV advert. Now I'm expecting yours to be more like the first draft than the final one with all the colour, but obviously in digital media we will give you the skills and the time and the resources to be able to develop a really full colour storyboard. So in your storyboard I'd like you to include camera angles, I want you to include on-screen graphics, and I want you to make a mention of some sound. Now at the start I did say that you can choose the product to advertise. Keep it simple. So is it the next iPhone? Is it a new chocolate bar? It could even be just as simple as a fork. Okay, you decide. So take the idea, look at the product, what are the selling points? Okay, so this fork is nice and shiny. It's got 4 points on it so you can easily dig it into your food. It's also got a nice little shape to it so that if you need to be scooping anything up, you can do that as well. So what we do when we're looking at advertising products and storyboarding for them, we look at the advantages. What makes this fork better than any other? Okay, it's also got a nice little pattern at the end, so this could be more of a special dinner, maybe a Christmas dinner kind of product. Maybe that's the angle you would go with. Maybe my initial ideas would be to have some kind of family around the table, all dig it in, maybe using an old knife and fork, but then the mum gets these ones out and everyone's amazed. Simple as anything. So take an idea. It could also be that we take a hammer, for example. Just think of anything. Look around the classroom. Look in your pockets. Have you got a pen, pencil, your phone? Think of the actors in the scene. Who will be acting it out? Is it going to be real life? Is it going to be CGI? Is it going to be a mix like the Vimto advert that we've just watched? I really look forward to seeing these. Hopefully, if you want to take a photograph and email it in and submit it so I can have a little look, or if you're in Workington Academy, keep them for me and I'll have a little look and look through them and give you some feedback. On the screen now you can see a storyboard template. We've got 6 panels on the page. You've also got some lines underneath where you can annotate any descriptions of sound, any other little descriptions to describe the scene, any of the movement, the dialogue. Also you've got the space there to then draw what's happening in the scene. So for example, if in the last panel you wanted the logo to come up with a nice big flashy sign telling you how much the price is, then obviously you would draw that in there, maybe draw some arrows to show movement and maybe some like lines to show that it's flashing away, and then you would also describe that in the box underneath. It also says in the top the title, so obviously that would be the title of the project, and then you've got page blank of blank, so that would be obviously the example I showed you for Vimto had about 4 or 5 pages worth of panels, so it obviously would be page 1 of 5, 2 of 5 and so on. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Like I say, if you've got any questions at all, you can just email office@westcoastsixthform.org and they will put them towards me and I will answer them for you as best as I can. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it gives you a little flavour about what we do in digital media, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.